We're joined over the phone now by Proskauer Rose partner and former FTC Commissioner Antitrust Advisor Alicia Batts. Alicia, thank you very much for joining us. What do you make of this exclusive that we have, that perhaps there could be a broad probe of Google?
Well, I think the Internet is really a very interesting area to antitrust regulators. So I think it's really a matter of time before DOJ or FTC take a look at the broader, the large players and the broader Internet market. It's certainly grown. When I was at the FTC, there was a lot of interest in the Internet for a variety of reasons. But more recently, it's really the way that people do commerce. It's innovation. It's new. It involves networks. It's all the things that antitrust lawyers are curious about. And so, go ahead.
Well, Alicia, I was going to say, it's Dominic here. Is it as simple as something like a 75% market share for Internet search in the U.S. and a 95% share in Europe? Is it really that simple?
Well, I don't know if it's that simple because people have choice, but many people are not sophisticated enough or don't often exercise their choice. I mean, Google's argument is, well, we're dominant, but just with a click, someone can use another Internet search term. So I don't think that it's simple. It's complex issues. It's content. It's how things come up on Google. It's just a very interesting area for antitrust lawyers to evaluate what the implications are of having such large dominant players.
So, Alicia, take us inside the FTC. You know, I think a lot of consumers would still say their experience with Google doesn't seem to be failed. I mean, they can get what they want through Google. What would the FTC be doing to determine if the consumer isn't getting a fair share here?
Well, for example, when you do a Google search, who decides what comes up first, what doesn't come up at all? All of that information. One thing that the FTC has looked at in the past, they've had two Google investigations. One is DoubleClick, and DoubleClick went on during the time period when I was at the commission, and frankly, it was sort of privacy, consumer information. How were the ads coming up? So when I do a Google search, I get different ads than you do.
Right.
How you know, are they violating the privacy rules? Because the FTC looks at competition as well as consumer protection. And then Section 5, which is the FTC special statute, has to do with unfair and deceptive practices. So that is extremely broad.
Alicia, though, you know, there's a couple of things in that. Number one, Google would likely say that, look, there is competition. If you don't like doing search on Google, you can go to Bing or any other search engine, Yahoo or whatever. And number two, there are people that I know, you know, who've been close to Larry Page, who say that, you know, he doesn't, that essentially the objective is to just make search better, to make the quality better. Why is that antithetical to what a consumer wants?
Well, I think consumers do want better quality, but they also want to know about all of the available options out there. And so as Google starts to purchase other related entities like AIT or AdMob, it becomes complicated because it's not just Google, are they pushing the things that they know or the services they know ahead of those related services competitors. So is the consumer really finding out about the whole marketplace, or are they finding out about things that are owned by Google or things that have strong business relationships with Google?
Very quickly, Alicia, what would be the difference between the FTC taking the lead on this and the Justice Department?
Well, the fundamental difference is that the FTC has Section 5, and so if you look at the broad investigation that the FTC did of Intel recently, they really it wasn't based on the antitrust laws that Intel got in trouble. It was based on this broader Section 5, which is kind of, if you had to simplify it, it's not playing nice in the marketplace.
Alicia, thank you. We're going to leave it there. Alicia Batts.